Okay, so we're just going to look quickly at how to hold the violin. For beginners, they're going to use their left arm and put the chin on the chin rest, and they might have a shoulder rest. Some of them don't like it to start with. Some will use sponges or different sort of cloths that come right over the chin rest and wrap all the way around to the back. I've got this sort of shoulder rest, if you can see that. That's just what suits me. You might have to, you know, figure out what suits you guys just by trial and error. So hold onto it like that, and then left hand. This is the introductory hold, where they hold the violin like that. And then when they're more comfortable and they've worked up a bit of sort of shoulder strength, they can hold the violin just using their chin and shoulder, and that will leave this hand free to play on the fingerboard. And so to start with, they like to hold it in their hand. It feels more secure. I often find kids want to hold with their right hand like that. It just feels more sturdy for them and secure. So but we need this hand for the bow. So this is also going to make them feel like they're not going to drop it. They still drop it anyway, but you know, we play on carpet, so you know, hope for the best that we don't break things too much. So just start like this, and then when they feel comfortable, get used to holding it with no hands, just using the chin and the shoulder rest. And then when they can do that, then they can progress to the fingerboard. And so when we play on the fingerboard, I talk about this as a slide. They slide down the slide. The thumb goes here underneath, so the thumb's kind of got like a little hiding spot, and then the fingers arc around like that. And so they're going to want to do this, and that's not the right way to do it. It's, you know, I've actually seen some professional violinists do quite well like that, but it's not very efficient. It's going to make life really difficult. It's hard to reach sort of onto the G string. So bring the wrist back like this. You want to have sort of a straight arm. So see how much more my fingers can do when the arm's up like that, or the wrist is back like that, and how restricted they can't really work that well. So like this. And so basically the thumb and the first finger, they kind of line up together like that. And so I talk about them sort of being in partnership. So this is called first position, and then later on when you're doing other positions, the thumb and the fingers will stay together as well. So, but to start, we're doing first position, and we've got a thumb underneath here. If it comes up and around, which is another thing they want to do, they want to hold the violin like that. Encourage them to bring it back down and hold it under there like that. So just like that, and then the other fingers can come around. Can you see that? And then like that. So then first finger like this, and then a lot of the pieces that we use, the second finger is not going to be right next to the first. It's going to be a stretch. There's going to be a gap, and then third finger like that will be really close to the second finger, and we won't be using the fourth finger for a little while. So this is the main thing that they're going to get used to. The other thing is getting used to pressing on the strings. It's going to feel uncomfortable on the fingertips for a little while. They'll get used to it pretty quick. But a lot of kids give up thinking, oh, that doesn't feel very nice, that sort of hurts my fingertips. If it's starting to hurt them, just encourage them to use the E string, because that's the thinnest string, the finest string, so it's not going to dig in as much as something like the G string would. But, you know, just encourage them that it will get better. Your fingertips get strong quickly, so if it's hurting, just take a day off and then try again the next day, and your fingertips will get like a sort of hardened skin across the tops there. So yeah, you'll see like a little circle. You can't really see on the camera, you can't really see mine, but my fingertips are really used to pressing on the strings. They will get used to it quick. It's going to be uncomfortable to start with, but I promise it gets better really quickly. It can be as quick as a week. So if they're playing a lot, they're going to notice it more. So you know, you can keep practicing, but you can just maybe concentrate on bowing one day, and then the next day do something with the fingerboard, and then the next day just do the open string songs, and then back to the fingerboard, so that they can break and get used to that, and they give their fingertips some time to, you know, grow that sort of hardened skin across the fingertips. But they will get stronger, and if they haven't been playing for a long time, it's going to have to start all over again. They're going to have to wait for that skin to get hard again. Okay, so next thing is the bow hold, and Okay, so introductory hold, they just kind of grab onto the frog and they use their right hand to do this. Often they want to use their left hand because they want to use the right hand for the violin, so I talk about switching it over. So they bring the frog into the right hand. So the thumb has a hiding spot on the bow as well. So there's the grips here, and that's the frog, and then you're going to be mostly using this sort of area here. So there's a gap between the frog and the grips where you can see part of the stick, the wood, and that's where the thumb goes, like that. See that in there? So it goes up there. If it comes through like that, it's not right. So it's got to scooch under just like that. So it's sort of like it's resting the bow on the thumb like that, on the tip of the thumb, kind of like that. A little bit under is fine too, like that. That's good. And then these two fingers flop over the frog like that. And so these are like the bunny ears, so we kind of make a bunny. So if you can bounce it on the thumb like that, you're on the right track, really. And then this one, it folds down over the grips like that, and then the pinky is up on top like that. And often they'll bring their wrists down like that, and then they wonder why it's hard to reach up on the grips. So if they're having trouble reaching the grips, it's because the wrist has come down. So what I do with them is I pretend like they've got a puppet hand, and I thread an imaginary string through there, and I bring the wrists right back up like that, and then that way it does fall down easier, and the fingertip can come right up on top like that. If it's like this, it will probably just want to go flat. So this one is like that because it's basically steering the bow. So like this, like that, it steers it forwards like that, and this one kind of controls it as well. So they kind of work together like this, and these are helping hold it up, right? So when you play, the wrist is an important part of the bowing. We use the wrist to bring the bow up and then down. So this would be a down bow. So you are going to be using the wrist like this. This is rather exaggerated, but yeah, so but to start with, the wrist will be up so they can really get a good idea of how to hold the bow. So if you can see that, thumb, and then flop that over, then the pinky and the grip, and this is up like that. So if you can manage that, then we're on the right track, and we can keep practicing different sort of ways of holding it and tilting the bow and things like that later. So just for now, thumb, fingers, we flop the first ear over here. This ear is the bunny ear, remember the bunny ears? Floppy ear, pointy ear, and you're good to go. Okay.